Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a mental health, emotional health, psychological paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. It doesn't necessarily work that way all the time, as my schedule isn't as conducive as I'd like it to be, but that means I'm working with clients, doing good things, and making things happen with folks. And so um, if you're looking for coaching, would love to be of benefit to you if I can. Please feel free to reach out on Twitter at PO Perception. Please feel free to reach out on YouTube here in the About Me section of the YouTube page. Either one will lead you to conversations with me or members of my team. We can make something happen sooner rather than later, and we would love to be of assistance to you in making 2022 the best part of your life, the best time in your life. So, a person who is down or dealing with depression or dealing with mental health issues, what are some signs that they are dealing with those issues? First is self deprecating humor that's constant. So, we all have times when we're not good at something and we poke fun at ourselves. But when that becomes someone's default setting, that is, when that becomes how a person copes with almost everything, or they're more critical of themselves than they are complimentary, then that can be a sign that they're down. And that's mainly because that individual is going to have struggles in relationship to how they see themselves. Again, fluctuation in mood can be another um, difficult indicator. If a person, especially, has a mood disorder, as an example, or something going on where they can't regulate how they feel, or they're suppressing how they really feel and doing a lot of performance in terms of emotional awareness and emotional wellness, that can become super difficult too. Um, and then, if they have virtually no distractions, that is, things that they're interested in, or they don't kind of allow themselves to get engrossed in a hobby or a conversation or something they enjoy on a regular basis, this is another sign, because they're battling so much within their mind that enjoyment becomes more than they can bear. And when they don't have it, it also becomes magnified, because it's like it's been forever since I've really enjoyed something. So they beat themselves up even worse around the idea of that that negativity, that harshness, that lack of awareness, or that lack of wellness, or that lack of good being. And so that becomes problematic for a number of reasons, mostly because the person doesn't feel they have an intelligent platform to be able to make good decisions from, and that ultimately leads them to feel kind of out of balance and in an unhealthy space. So that can be something to look at too. The next thing there is if they're overly quiet, if they're overly reserved, or they're worried on a consistent basis about kind of how to interact with others, how to connect with people on a consistent basis. And the quiet nature isn't because they have nothing to say, it's because they don't know how to speak out and how to interact and how to be there for themselves. And there for yourself can mean just as much as there for someone else. There's a lot of challenges related to being there for yourself in a continually positive and authentic way. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to know everything that's coming. It also doesn't mean that you have to speak out in every conversation, but knowing that you have value in what you're trying to accomplish, knowing that you have value in what you're trying to do, it's certainly something worth taking a peek at. The next thing to look at is kind of the process of um, what it is and where it is that you're trying to go. If stress is constant and you don't find resolution to it, or you don't feel that resolution is worth finding, or you don't feel that resolution is possible to be found, that becomes super, super um, uncomfortable. It becomes super, negatively impactful. And finding a way to understand how to find a place of rest, internal rest, is important. It's also valuable, but it's also something that you have to be committed to in order to do well. And sometimes that internal commitment doesn't exist as much as we need it for it to, for us to heal from previous trauma, for us to heal from previous difficulty, or if we've seen ourselves in a negative light for an extended period of time, healing that is also super, super important. So hopefully this is helpful. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.